A regional crown on the line in Leesburg, Virginia today. It's the Tuscarora Huskies looking to fend off the James Wood Colonels. Welcome in, folks. I'm Aiden Butler. Fine gentleman to my left is Roden Haku, partner. A lot at stake in this one today.
Exactly, Aiden. It all comes down to seeding. Both of these teams do have a ticket into the state tournament for the class of 4A. However, history shows that if you can get those first couple of games at home, you do have that competitive advantage. We saw the Tuscarora Huskies host Orange County before moving on into the rest of the state tournament last year. So the Tuscarora Huskies hoping to repeat. One thing to note, Aiden, is probably the biggest storyline of this game today. No number 18 in the pitching circle to start off for the Tuscarora Huskies. Lily Wolves instead. Obviously not who we expected to come out pitching. Mullen still nursing that right shoulder injury. However, Lily Wolves definitely not a sight for the Colonels to be happy about. .71 on the ERA this year. She pitched most recently against Sharando, Aiden, where she struck out 5 of 6 batters through 2 innings of perfect work.
Let's crown a regional champion as we get set to go here. As you said, partner, Lily Wolves in the circle, leading off for the visiting Colonels, number 3, Cadence Reeg, the center fielder. Right-handed pitcher versus right-handed hitter to start, and we are underway down the pipes, but off the plate. Ball 1 to Reeg. Counts 1-0. Scattered clouds, but a blue sky here. It's been the heat that's given a lot of people concerns. 89 degrees officially feels like 90. No weather in the forecast. Slight chance of thunderstorms later as pitch number 2. Wolves makes the slight adjustment, finds the zone for strike 1.
And that heat is definitely going to be a factor, Aiden. We've seen the Tuscarora Huskies kind of get off to some slow starts. They're going to have to get hot, not temperature hot, quickly, because as we get into the later stages of these games, that second, third at-bat, that sun's going to be coming down, and it's going to be hot.
It's a breaking ball from Wolves well inside at the knees of Reeg. Counts 2-1. Tuscarora going with the classic blue and gray pinstripe look, blue lettering and numerals as well. Colonels, white pinstripe pants, blue jerseys, gold lettering, and numerals. Wave and a miss on another breaker. It counts 2-2 for Reeg in the early going.
And it's going to be also interesting for Lily Wolves. Hasn't pitched significant portions of a game. Has come in to close in relief of Mullen the majority of the season. Got 5 saves. But it's going to be interesting to see how she's going to fare pitching all 7 perhaps.
As that ball cracked on, came back to bite the leg of Reeg. Count stays 2-2. Tuscarora, they come into this one 22-2 on the season. Were perfect in district play, 15-0. They've won 13 consecutive. Meanwhile, the Colonels, they're 20-2 on the year, 14-1 in Northwestern district play. They've won 6 in a row. Colonels led by head coach Steve Hicks. The Huskies by Bridget Kemp. 2-2 count. Wolves kicks, delivers. Got the near wall of the zone, and there's your first K of the day for Lily Wolves.
And that's a good sight to see. Aiden, first batter faced 1K on the books. The Tuscarora Husky defense has been immaculate since April 19th, Aiden. They've won their last 12, given up just 10 runs with 6 shutouts. The Tuscarora Huskies on defense have been pretty much perfect since April, so hopefully they will continue this through the rest of this playoffs.
That's a fine way to start. A swing and a miss to Sadie Kitto. She's down in the count 0-1, another right-handed hitter. The shortstop for the Colonels. Wolves looks on, gets the signal from catcher Mackenzie Freeze. Wind up, fire. That one is going to be golfed into left field down in front of Hannah Schmidl. And a 1-out single for Sadie Kitto. And partner, you were talking about the Tuscarora defense needing to be good. This is a team coming off their last win, 12-10, a barn burner over the Loudoun Valley Vikings. And they averaged 12.2 runs per game coming into today.
Yeah, the James Wood offense has been great all year, but it's kind of that old adage, Aiden, when a strong force meets an immovable object, who's going to win? And that's going to be this contest between that James Wood batting order and this Tuscarora defense.
As Izzy McKee, that one in and out of the glove of the second baseman, Briley Bass. It looked like she would have had an easy out there just off the tip of the outstretched glove. And 2 aboard in a hurry for the Colonels.
And not a great sign for the Tuscarora Huskies, however, still got a lot of game to be played. Would definitely like for Lily Wolves to start to settle in here.
Next up will be Sydney Orndorff, number 34, the catcher for the Colonels, another right-handed hitter. As Orndorff calls time, take you around the Tuscarora defense. It's Mary Hackman at first, Briley Bass at second, Olivia Bruns at third, Grace Petruzzi at shortstop, Mackenzie Fries behind the dish. Wave and a miss to start for Orndorff, 0-1 count. And in the outfield for Tuscarora, left field, it's Hannah Schmidl, center field, Lily Shivert, and in right field, Audrey Stell.
And a little bit of history, Aiden. Orndorff hit that 2-run shot in the top of the third inning in last year's state tournament here at Tuscarora High School. The Tuscarora Huskies would go on to win that one 12-2, but that at the time tied the game up. So Orndorff, a key part of this James Wood lineup.
As she reached on that outside pitch there, maybe trying to replicate such an action. Counts 0-2 with one out down. 2 runners on. Cateau at second, McKee at first. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, all swinging. A big second out from Lily Wolves.
And that's just a great way to respond for Lily Wolves, giving up 2 base runners, then coming back with 3 straight. Love to see that tenacity.
Left-handed hitter on now, Eliza Judd, the first baseman. She calls time. Wolves trying to leave the base runner stranded in an early pinch. The windup, the delivery, swing and a miss. Some heat on that delivery from Wolves, counts 0-1. Lily Wolves has been the go-to relief pitcher for the Huskies all season. She winds up, delivers. That one's going to be poked and playable, shallow right, and Audrey Stell will put it away. A flash of the leather, and the 2 base runners are left stranded as Judd flies out towards right. No errors, no runs, 1 hit, 1 error for the Huskies on defense. Scoreless as we head to the middle of the first, the 2 runners left stranded. We welcome you back for the home side of the first. Lily Wolves pitched her way out of an early pinch early on with 2 base runners on. Now she'll lead off for the Tuscarora Huskies. In the circle for the visiting Colonels be number 14, Jenna Shull. Right-handed pitcher versus right-handed hitter yet again. Here comes the windup, the delivery from Shull. Traces below the zone, inside as well. Counts 1-0. Lily Wolves, a first-team all-district second baseman, of course, again, playing the pitching position today. Chopper towards short. Can she beat out the throw? You bet she can.
And Lily Wolves, such a great tool for this Tuscarora Husky, leads the team in batting average with a .521 batting average, 30 RBIs on the year, 10 or excuse me, my apologies, 11 extra base hits.
So the Huskies with some early offense of their own as Mary Hackman comes to the dish. It looks like we're going to get a pinch runner in for Lily Wools. Bridget Kemp looking to be careful with Wools in this one as she is their starting pitcher for today. It's going to be number 2, Anna Petruzzi from the looks of it. Hackman playing first base for the Huskies today. Left-handed hitter. See if that prevents any particular challenge to Shull. Hackman also a first-team All-District player this season. Shull winds up, delivers, nicks the far edge of the plate, runner goes, slides in safe. The delivery was cut off by the shortstop, Sadie Cateau, and Petruzzi pinch running for Lily Wools with a stolen base into second. Count is 0-1 to Hackman, however. She takes that pitch, gets a hold of it into deep right field, lands in front of the fence. And Petruzzi, oh no, that ball was gone. Home run Huskies. Mary Hackman gets the Huskies on the board in a big way.
And we were talking about slow starts at the beginning of this game, Aiden. The Tuscarora Huskies certainly not starting off slow in this one.
And with no outs down, that is a 2-0 lead, courtesy of Mary Hackman. Rocketed one over the right field wall. 2 RBIs, also scores Anna Petruzzi from second. And on will step Lillian Shivert, the center fielder. Shull winds up, delivers. Lily Shivert gets a piece of this one, but not enough as it's into the glove of the right fielder, Ellie Johnson, and 1 out down.
And Lillian Shivert just missed that pitch, Aiden, just a little too late. That's the pitch she was waiting for, and we saw her kind of start off slow, similar to the rest of the Tuscarora Huskies batting order, and start to heat up later. Did a good job of protecting the plate on that one, but unfortunately not a base hit for the senior.
So Audrey Stell watches that one, find the heart of the zone, and an 0-1 count in the early going for Audrey Stell, the right fielder of the Huskies. Shull winds up, delivers. That one's going to be tapped off foul. Good for strike 2, up into the right. Collided violently. Let's meet the rest of the Colonel's defense. It's Cindy Orndorff behind the plate, Eliza Judd at first, Izzy McKee at second, Brennan Williams at third, and Sadie Cateau, the shortstop. Brooklyn Davis sits at left field, Cadence Regan center, and the right fielder is Ellie Johnson, as this one has some muscle to it. That's down in left center. She wants 2 and slides in safe. Audrey Stell with a double to follow up an earlier home run by Mary Hackman. The Huskies, bats are hot early on.
And that's 3 straight hard hit balls, Aiden. Even that one for Lillian Shivert went the similar distance. That last one from Stell went into right field. Obviously, the right fielder was underneath of it. But you got to think, especially with Lindsay Mullen at the plate, the Tuscarora Huskies have this timed up pretty well.
Of course, Lindsay Mullen, and there it is. She's intentionally walked. That'll give the Huskies another base runner on. That didn't take long.
Yeah, I mean, Aiden, I honestly love the call as much as some people will not. You got Audrey Stell, a speedy outfielder on second base, and you just watched your pitcher give up 3 extra base hits pretty much worth of balls. You got to think keeping Lindsay Mullen at first might be the only chance you got in this inning.
As Hannah Schmidl tried to lay down a bunt, goes below the zone, good for ball 1. It's a 1-0 count. Stell had a long leadoff at second, but no one was covering it. Lindsay Mullen still in as a base runner at first. It's that ball well off the plate, up and away from Schmidl, counts 2-0. And the Huskies, whose offense normally hasn't come around until midway through the game, their most recent contest. This has to be a good sign to see as a riser that Schmidl will take a hack at, but it's strike 1. 2-1 count, 1 out down.
And if you're Shull here, you just got to show some composure, lock in. You're only down 2 runs, could be worse. Definitely don't want to give up a big inning
As
here.
Schmidl does lay down the bunt. Throw to first is not there. Bases primed and loaded. Nope, they called her out. Looked very close.
I believe, and if anything, she was a step behind. It was a close call at the first base bag. But obviously, you got to hand it to the official. He has a better line than we do up here. But nonetheless, not a bad result. You got 2 runners in scoring position now, moving the runners across.
As that first ball, some movement on it, called strike 1 for Grace Petruzzi, the Tuscarora shortstop. Down the count 0-1. Mullen now at second, and Audrey Stell at third. Petruzzi looking to bat him home here. Shull kicks, delivers. Breaking ball lands just off the plate away from the zone. Counts 1-1.
And you can even see Orndorff turn around to the umpire and ask, I think they called that high, Aiden.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. 2 base runners both in scoring position. As Petruzzi will let that one go. Down and in. Counts 2-1. The home umpire confirms that ruling. Shull looking to get out of a tough inning to start. That one does find the zone. Strike 2.
The great pitch down the outside, Aiden.
Shull looking to leave the 2 Huskies on base stranded. Shull winds up, delivers on the 2-2. That one's going to be golf towards second, and easy as you like. Play to first. 3 hits, 2 runs, no errors. 2 runners left stranded after the bottom of the first as Petruzzi grounds out towards first base. The Huskies with some early offense and in a big way. A Mary Hackman home run is the difference as the Huskies are up 2-0. Top of the second inning is here. Tuscarora, thanks to Mary Hackman and company, with an early 2-0 cushion for Lily Wolves, who return to the circle. Leading it off here will be Skyla Compton, the designated player. Rocking the 0-0 today. Wolves' delivery is hacked on and missed. Counts 0-1. Wolves kicks, fires. That one had some movement to it, a curveball that didn't curve enough from the looks of it. Counts 1-1. Tuscarora, 14-1 at home this season. 14-2, pardon me. As Wolves taps her chest, says that one's on me off the plate, but counts 2-1. Tuscarora 14-2 at home, 4-2 in play against out-of-district opponents. Meanwhile, the Jameswood Colonels, they're 10-0 on the road this season, 5-1 when it comes to out-of-district competition. 2-1 count to Compton as she chops that one towards third. Cross diamond throw, you bet.
And to put that last stat into perspective a little bit, Aiden, the Tuscarora Huskies faced their 2 losses are held against Osborne Park, a 6A school, and the Woodgrove Wolverines, who just won the Region 5C over the Riverside Rams. So certainly out-of-conference competition for the Tuscarora Huskies was nothing short of elite.
Jenna Shull to the dish for her first time today. Some pitcher-on-pitcher violence. This has to jump back a centimeter from that one. Counts 1-0. Winner of this one today will go on to the Virginia High School quarterfinal. We played at the home of the higher seed and got out in front of that one, did Shull. Some nice off-speed action from Lily Wolves. Counts 1-1. Wolves kicks, delivers. I think she went on that pitch. What does he call? They call that strike 2. It looked like Shull was going to check swing, but it didn't matter. The ball was inside and collided off the bat. So counts 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Wool kicks, fires, and that one's going to be lofted into left center, but Hannah Schmidl gloves it for out number 2. I was interested to see the second that ball hit the ground what the call was going to be. It's like you ever see, it's happened, I've only seen it happen once or twice. Sometimes the pitch will go behind the head of the hitter and still bounce off the bat, and they'll call that a foul ball.
A wiffle ball, a wiffle ball strike.
2 outs down is Ellie Johnson, the right fielder, number 1 for the Colonels, to the dish now. Watches that one coast just off the plate inside, 1-0 count. Huskies already in better shape defensively than they were to end the top of the first. And that pitch, Wolves made the adjustment by a fraction of an inch or so, counts 1-1 on strike 1.
Well, Johnson here trying to throw down a bunt or slap hit, Aiden, making it difficult for the ump to see.
And she does swing on that one. Sun in her eyes, Ellie, sun in her eyes, doesn't matter. Audrey Stell gloves it. 3 up, 3 down go the Colonels at the end of the top of the second. Huskies back at it, 8, 9, and 1 due up for them when we come back. 2-0 Tuscarora as we head to the middle of the second. Back to it in the bottom of the second. Number 9, Olivia Bruns, the third baseman, will start the proceedings for the Huskies here. Jenna Shull still in the circle for the Colonels. Lily Wool seemed like she was able to settle in after her first inning of action. See if Shull can replicate it here after a tough way to start. 3 hits, one of them that went over the fence to give us this 2-0 score. First pitch is down and away. Counts 1-0 from the right-handed Olivia Bruns.
And in these big innings for the Tuscarora Huskies, we said it so much in the last game against Sharando. When these big innings happen for the Tuscarora Huskies, when Olivia Bruns and Mackenzie Freeze, those 8 and 9 hitters, can get on base and that bring up that top of the order that is so potent.
Same pitch, different result as that one did find the wall of the zone. No doubt about that one. At the feet of Bruns, counts 2-1.
And on a hot day like this, you'd love to see a little extra emphasis on some plate discipline and for some long at-bats, as both of these pitchers are going to start to tire out here later in this one.
As a drop ball drops into the bucket, strike 2. As the shadow's elongating here, but unlike most days, that's not making much of a difference in regards to the temperature. 2-2 count that's slapped into play, gloved by the third baseman, throw to first is there. Brennan Williams played it well, delivers to Judd at first. There's the first out of the inning.
Yeah, that's a good heads-up play there by the third baseman, Williams, coming across the diamond. That was a very slow hit ball going towards the shortstop, Cateau, and she got out in front of it. I think if Cateau calls that one and fields at 8, and Olivia Bruns has that extra half second to get over and get on first.
Top 25 in-state battle is today's contest, as that one, breaking ball out and away. Counts 1-0 for the catcher for the Huskies, number 1, Mackenzie Freeze. It's the line at the pitch. Down Main Street, called strike 1. Tuscarora comes in today ranked the 9th overall team in the state of Virginia. James Wood a little further down the list, but they're there as the 23rd team in the state, as that one fouled off up into the right on the fence just above the Tuscarora dugout. Counts 1-2. Kenzie Freeze, her 61st at-bat of the season. Swing and a miss, won't get a chance to get on base here. First strikeout of the day for Jenna Shull. So 2 outs down as we go back to the top of the lineup. And Lily Wools, who got things started in a big way, got on with a single, and then her pinch runner, Anna Petruzzi, stole her way to second, which of course gave way to Mary Hackman launching one over the fence. Wools takes that, swinging. A late drop on that pitch got her to go. Counts 0-1.
And Shull's definitely settled in here, Aiden, in this bottom of the second inning, just as Wools, who's now at the plate, did in the top of the second.
Wools takes that one down and away. Makes it a 1-1 count. Wools batting a .521 on the season, the best batting average on roster for the Huskies. Shull winds up and fires that one over the head of the catcher Orndorff and into the backstop. Makes it a 2-1 count. Looking to keep this at a 2-0 affair is the Colonels' defense. Shull fires another one up and away, and Wolves finds herself with a hitter's count, 3 balls and 1 strike. Tuscarora as a team this season batting a .366, boasting a fair 8.7 runs per game.
And I believe in that .336 is everyone on Tuscarora's roster who swung a bat, let alone this batting order.
3-1 hitters count off the plate, and it's a 2-out walk for Lily Wools. So the Huskies get a base runner on. Have to imagine Petruzzi will come in to pinch run yet again, and she does. And that will give way to Mary Hackman. 1 of 1 on the day, a 2-run bomb over the right field fence to start her day. I'm sure she wouldn't mind replicating that earlier at bat. Shull delivers that one well off the plate. Down and away from the left-handed Hackman. Counts 1-0. So that was actually Hackman's first home run of the season. What a way for it to come in a big playoff matchup in the regional championship, as Shull knocks that one into the far wall of the zone. Counts 1-1. Petruzzi not much of a leadoff at first. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Well off the plate, no doubt about it. It was the same as that first pitch. 2-1 count for Hackman. Off of that home run, Hackman with her 33rd hit of the year. Wind up the pitch, swing and a miss. That ball up in the zone, counts 2-2. Mentioned James Wood coming off of that barn burner victory over the Vikings, 12-10. Tuscarora coming off a complete performance, 5-0 as that ball down and away, and the count is now locked and loaded. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tuscarora, as I said, coming off a complete game on Tuesday, a victory over the Sharando Warriors in the regional semifinal, 5-0. A Lindsey Mullen home run was a big difference maker in that contest. Payoff pitch slapped into the fence up into the left. Will stay a full count.
Tell you, Aiden, I'm happy that fence was there.
No wind at all at the Tuscarora softball park today. Which sometimes you want is on the defense. The ball gets up in the air. The wind's not going to play with it at all, but maybe you wanted a little more for the temperature. Down in the zone, and 2 straight walks as Hackman wins that battle.
And those first 2 at-bats, Aiden, are so difficult from the pitching perspective. I mean, we saw Wolves get on base and then Hackman put one over the fence, but they've been doing that all year. Then you bring up Lillian Shivert with 2 base runners on, Aiden. It's a tough 1-2-3 punch for the Tuscarora Huskies.
8-pitch battle won by Mary Hackman. She's reached both plate appearances today. As Lily Shivert comes to the dish with 2 outs down, flew out to start her day at the knees, and they intentionally walk Shivert. Oh no, they're going to say it hit her leg. Okay. Didn't look it from this angle. But they will call that a hit by pitch. Moves Petruzzi. Well, now there's deliberation as to could have been catcher interference. A couple things today.
I had a pretty good view of that one, Aiden. It came across the left leg of Lillian Shiver, just barely on the inside. And I think the head coach of the Colonels is arguing that Lillian Shiver didn't make any attempt to get out of the way.
So the hit by pitch will push Shivert into first. Hackman now at second, and Anna Petruzzi pinch running for Lily Wolves is at third. Bases loaded, but again, 2 outs down. As on comes Audrey Stell, who doubled in her last at-bat.
Stell's been fantastic. The junior has really stepped up into the role left by D1 commit Lisa Zorb in right field and has done an excellent job with it.
25 hits and 16 RBIs on the season for Stell, but watch his first pitch of this sequence go for a strike. Shull trying to work herself out of this jam. Estelle puts that one into play, but a big glove from Izzy McKee on the doorstep of the outfield. No hits, no errors, 2 walks, and the bases are left loaded. Big sequence for Jenna Shull, gets her team out of a jam, and it's still 2-0 Huskies after a full 2 innings. Back in action for the third inning. Brennan Williams, the 9-spot hitter for the Colonels, will see her first action at the plate today. Lily Wolves found her rhythm in the top of the second, forcing a lot of soft contact, a ground out and 2 flyouts as that first pitch down and away, trying to run through it. Was Williams, counts 1-0. It was a 3-up, 3-down affair for the Colonels, their last chance on offense. Briley Bass playing up just a few feet to the left of Lily Wolves, who makes the adjustment on pitch number 2 of the inning, strike 1.
Reminds me of playing kickball, Aiden, all the way back in elementary school. You had that one kid that was always standing right next to the pitcher, waiting for the soft contact.
And Olivia Bruns cheating up from third, trying to run through it again was Williams. Pitch was up and in, counts 2-1. So you can see Olivia Bruns anticipating bunt, cheating up from that third base spot. Tuscarora on top of their stellar pitching, a .978 in fielding percentage this season. The 2-1 off the plate, up and away, counts 3-1, and a hitter's count for Brennan Williams. And the Colonels still looking to bring their first run across on the day, erase that donut on the scoreboard. Time is called by Wolves. Wants to have a quick convo with Mackenzie Freeze. And that's certainly not what the Colonels would expect. Still scoreless in the top of the third after their win over the Vikings, where they scored in all 6 innings they were at the dish. And a win that didn't come easy either, as the Vikings also plated 2 to make it a 2-run game in the top of the 7th. A 3-1 well inside on a drop ball and a leadoff walk for Brennan Williams.
And you got to love that at bat. If you're the James Woods Colonels, getting your 9-hole hitter on base with a walk with the top of your order coming up, that's been so great for you all year.
As Cadence Reed back to the plate, 0 for 1 on the day. Struck out looking her first at bat. As the runner Williams thought about going, thinks better of it. Pitch is called strike 1, 0-1 count for Reed. Wolves wheels and deals, wanted to go to that drop ball, but off the plate. Oh no, they called it strike 2. Looked for sure it was off the plate, looks like it pinpointed top left corner of the zone from Wolves' perspective. Counts 0-2 to Reed. Wolves winds up and fires. That one traces the bottom of the plate, and the pitch got away from Freeze. Rolled in and out of her grasp, and into second on a slide is Brilliant Williams with that stolen bag.
And Brennan Williams, a pest. Very fast out of that third base position, Aiden. And you could just see it, how the Tuscarora Huskies were moved so far up, just watching, make sure she wasn't going to try to bunt to get on base. Now is moved from first to second.
Counts 1-2 for Reed. Wolves delivers a riser that's hacked on and missed. Third strikeout on the day for Lily Wolves.
And that's a great pitch there from Wolves. Calm as you like from the pitching circle.
Brings about the first out of the top of the third. Sadie Cateau, 1 for 1 today, singled back in the first. Wolves delivers. That one's going to be popped up into foul territory. Both Freeze and Mary Hackman all the way from first trying to make a play at it. Just awkward contact coming off the bat. Counts 0-1. Runner in scoring position at second is still Williams. Here comes the pitch. That one on a frozen wire inside. Another pitch that gets away from Freeze. And Williams now finds herself at third off of that wild pitch.
And Freeze and Wolves got to figure this out here. I don't know if it's a miscommunication between the two or just wrong placement from Wolves. Wouldn't mind seeing Freeze going out and talking to her starting pitcher.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out for Cateau. Wolves kicks, fires. That one below the zone. Freeze does well to keep this one in front of her. Counts 2-1. Score has not given up a run since May 23rd, a 2-1 victory over the Loudoun County Captains, as that one's lined down the third baseline, foul all the way. Evens the count at 2 apiece. Cateau is second on the team in batting average this season for the Colonels. The 2-2, hard cut and a miss, and a big strikeout, number 4 for Lily Wolves.
And it's just as Lily Wolves is the pressure's starting to build, Aiden, for her, getting into these jams, giving up some base runners, and she just finds a way to work herself out of it. You love to see that.
As on steps Izzy McKee. Reached back in the first on an E4, one that was in and out of the glove of Briley Bass, another one that's off the plate. And Freeze's job not getting any easier to keep Brennan Williams at bay at third. Counts 1-0. Wolves gets the signal from Keys, the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Another one that got away from Freeze, but off to the left, so the runner stays at third, counts 1-1. A slow-paced pitch. Got McKee to react early, counts 1-1. Wolves gonna wind up and fire. That one gonna be put through the left center gap, and a run comes across. RBI single for Izzy McKee.
And that's just a great piece of hitting there from Izzy McKee, Aiden. Staying in the at-bat, just pushing it opposite field in the gap, scoring the first run for the James Wood Colonels.
First run given up by the Huskies since May 23rd. It's on step Sydney Orndorff, went down swinging her last at-bat. 2 outs down. Wolves kicks, fires, some movement on that pitch, finds the zone, strike 1. Wolves looking to get the Huskies out of the top of the third. Kicks, fires, that one well inside. Orndorff had to do some limbo work there to get out of the way of that pitch, counts 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, 2-1 the Huskies lead. Check swing, and it's going to be called. Check swing doesn't come, I should say. Ball was inside, counts 2-1. Two-one count, 2 outs down. Wolves trying to gut out the inning. Winds up and fires. That ball tapped into play, and it'll stay. They're going to call that foul. Bob, just a pet peeve of mine when umpires, it doesn't make our job any easier. Gonna let it roll all the like it was clearly foul, but he's still waiting to give the proper signal. Counts 2-2. Well, it looked like I had a chance to stay in play, but it skittered off down the third base line. Foul. 2-2 count. That's gonna be hit foul the other way, this time towards first down the right baseline. Stays a 2-2 count. All 2s across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tuscarora with 2 runs in the third inning. To the Colonels, 1 run scored, courtesy of Izzy McKee. Wolves lets it fly on the 2-2. That one has some heat on it, and that one's back at the fence. Runner will get waved around third, and she will score. Stand-up RBI double, Sydney Orndorff, and we are tied.
And Aiden, all the way back in last year's regional championship game against these same Colonels, Cindy Orndorff tied the game up at 2-2 at the top of the third inning with the 2-run shot. Now ties it up at the top of the third inning with the score 2-2 with a RBI double, excuse me. History does repeat itself.
pinch runner as Aubrey Nail will come in to pinch run for Sydney Orndorff. And all this damage, mind you, partner, coming with 2 outs on the board. Eliza Judd, who's 0 for 1 today, back to the dish. And she gets a piece of this one, and that one will get down. And another run will come across to score. Eliza Judd, an RBI double, and the Colonels have claimed their first lead of the day.
And the Tuscarora Huskies throughout the entirety of the playoffs have not ever been trailing, Aiden. So it's going to be interesting to see how this Tuscarora team is going to be able to bounce back and stay in this one.
And that will spur a meeting of the minds on defense for the Huskies, as Wolves was having herself a good day but has given up a walk and 3 hits, all 3 earned runs, all in this inning, as the Huskies, a rare sight for them, they trail 3-2 with 2 outs down. At the plate now for the Colonels will be the designated player, Skyla Compton. So Eliza Judd stands at second. And just a rough sequence for left fielder Hannah Schmidl. The hit by Orndorff got behind her. Then Eliza Judd's most recent swing of the bat came down in front of her. And that one's going to be popped up and playable. Who calls ball? Briley Bass does on the infield and puts away a tough inning. The Colonels respond in a big way. 3 hits, 3 earned runs, no errors, 1 runner left stranded. Whole new ball game as we move to the middle of the third. Colonels lead at 3-2. Back to it for the bottom of the third. The Colonels had their way in the top of the inning. Took the lead for the first time today, 3-2, as Lindsey Mullen to the dish for her second time today. Last time she was intentionally walked. But now that the Colonels, they can dictate play here, see if they'll give her a chance to hit here. Looks like she will. Lets that first pitch go down below the zone. Counts 1-0. Huskies hoping Mullen has some of that magic left in her from their 5-0 victory, as that ball well off the plate. 2-0 mentioned earlier. She had a 2-run blast to left center that kind of broke open the scoring for the Huskies in that game.
Still chasing that Tuscarora single-season home run record, Aiden. 3 to go.
The wind up, the pitch, taps on that one off the end of the bat for strike 1. Tuscarora looking to get some offense going in the bottom of the third, as we mentioned, a rare instance on the season, they trail. 2-1 pitch is waved on and missed, good for strike 2. 2-2 count for Mullen. Scholl has done a much better job exhibiting control here, and that's why. Swing and a miss. Second strikeout of the evening for Scholl. Brings on out number one. Hannah Schmidl, the left fielder, on now for Tuscarora. 0 for 1 on the day, grounded out, trying to lay down a bunt in her first at-bat. Her Huskies trail 3-2. Scholl kicks, delivers. That ball is down and away. 1-0 count. Scholl kicks, delivers. Same pitch, same result. Ball 2. Huskies claim their third straight district title last week. As that pitch finds the seam, 0-1 count down the pipe, strike one. It's a 2-1 count now for Hannah Schmidl. And as I mentioned, Jenna Scholl done a much better job with the control here these most recent innings, as Schmidl going to foul that one off into the right leg of her head coach, Bridget Kemp, standing at first. Counts 2-2.
Sure, that one doesn't feel good, Aiden.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Huskies left the bases stranded back in the bottom of the second. Scholl, the 2-2, rolls in and out of the glove of the catcher Orndorff. Pitch was high. Count is full. Big payoff pitch up and coming for Jenna Scholl. Winds up, delivers. That one's going to be popped up behind her into the fencing, foul. Schmidl stays alive at the full count. Pitch number 7 of the at-bat up and coming for Scholl. And a wind-up and deliver, a riser that's hacked on and missed. Third strikeout of the day for Jenna Scholl, second of the inning.
Now for the Huskies at shortstop.
And just as Scholl's starting to heat up, Aiden, in the pitching circle, you could see this Tuscarora batting order starting to cool off a little bit from their hot start.
Grace Petruzzi, the shortstop, on now, also 0 for 1 today, grounded out towards second. She hard contact into dead center, and it's gloved there by Cadence Reeg. Sure work for the Colonels' defense. 3 up, 3 down. Go the Huskies. No hits, no runs, no errors. No one left stranded on that Petruzzi fly out towards center field. The Colonels look to add to their advantage in the top of the fourth. 3-2, after a full 3 innings here between the Huskies and the Colonels. Colonels flex their muscles in a big way their last time on offense. Jenna Scholl, who just made sure work of the Tuscarora batting order in the bottom of the third, will lead off the top of the fourth. 0 for 1 today, flew out towards left field. Her first at bat. Wolves delivers, wave and a miss, strike one. Be big for Wolves here if she can reestablish control after she gave up 3 hits and all 3 earned runs in the top of the third. And that one sent right back at her, collides off the leg of Wolves. Throw to first is in time. and just in the nick of it.
And Lily Wool's not even batting an eye, giving a couple thumbs up. That certainly didn't feel good, Aiden, but the heads up play to keep it going. Kemp's going to come over to talk to her.
As Bridget Kemp coming in to make sure her pitcher is all right. It was a great heads-up sequence from Briley Bass. After it collided off the leg of Wolves, Bass was there to still complete the out to first.
Yep, Bass with the rebound, Aiden.
Ellie Johnson to the dish now, flew out towards right her first at bat. A swing that ended the top of the second for the Colonels. Wolves going to wind up and deliver, and that one's going to be golfed towards center, but guess who's there? It's Lily Shivert for a quick out number 2.
And Shivert, great awareness there, saw it the whole way. Line drive out to her. Calm as you like.
Brennan Williams on now.
Now batting for the Colonels, playing third.
Started that 3-run spurt for the Colonels. An inning ago, she got on with a walk, lays down a bunt here, but won't have a chance. Lily Wolves comes up to field it, and a big response for the Huskies on defense.
And that's exactly what you needed, Aiden, from the Tuscarora Huskies. 3 up, 3 down. And you just love to see it from Lily Wolves. Each time she's been in a tough spot throughout this game, giving up runs, giving up base runners, she's been able to bounce back in that next inning. And for the Tuscarora Huskies, they need to stop going up and down, Aiden. They need to keep some consistency throughout this one because, frankly, the James Wood Colonels are probably the best in-class team that they've faced within 4A. And one of the better teams they're going to face, they'll only face better as these playoffs continue.
Huskies put the Colonels away in order. No hits, no runs, no one left on base. The Huskies look to return favor in the middle of the fourth, in the bottom of the fourth. When we get there, still 3-2 Colonels. We're halfway there in this one as we enter the bottom of the fourth. Olivia Bruns to lead off for the Huskies. Tuscarora looking to have a better turn on offense than their last. 3 up, 3 down. In the bottom of the third, Bruns 0 for 1 today. A 5-3 ground out back in the second. Jenna Shull still in the circle for the Colonels. Her first delivery of the inning is low, counts 1-0. Shull wheels and deals, and that one's going to be slapped foul back up into the right. For strike one, counts 1-1.
For the Tuscarora Huskies, Aiden, you'd love for either or both of your 8-9 hitters, Olivia Bruns or Mackenzie Fries, to get on base and bring up the top of their batting order. The Tuscarora Huskies need a spark here on offense.
Drop ball drops on the top shelf of the zone, so ball 2, 2-1 count. Almost a full hour gone by in this one as this one slapped into left field and fielded on a run, a basket catch by Cadence Rieg for out number 1 of the inning.
Now for the Huskies.
And it helps in the earlier innings. The Huskies were getting bodies on the bases early, but now defense has stiffened up for the Colonels. Mackenzie Fries to the dish, struck out swinging her last at bat. Lets that pitch go down and away, counts 1-0. Winner today will advance to the state quarterfinal Be played at the home of the higher C. That will be on Tuesday. As a chopper towards first, gloved by the first baseman, and she'll just walk it herself, does Eliza Judd. With the solo put out. And just like that, 2 outs on the board. But if you're looking for a bright side, it's the top of the Huskies order on to the dish now. Lily Wolves. Has reached both at bats today, singled in the first, walked in the second. All it takes is one swing to change a game, but reaches with that swing and missed as well, strike one.
And Wolves 6 home runs on the year, Aiden, what you were just alluding to. The Tuscarora Huskies, as I said, in the last at-bat, need a spark any way they can get it.
Shull kicks, delivers, same pitch, different result. Wolves has a better peace of mind on that one, 1-1 count with 2 outs down. One, check swing doesn't come from Wolves, stays true, counts 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs as the Huskies trail 3-2. Lily Wolves looking to change it, or at least give the Huskies a chance to change it. Shull kicks, delivers. Check swing doesn't come from Wolves, doesn't matter. The ball is there in the zone for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs as Shull looking to put this one away. It's been 5 straight batters retired for the Huskies as that ball is off the plate. Count is full. Payoff pitch up and coming for Shull on this 3-2 at-bat for Lily Wolves. Pinch runner Anna Petruzzi was scored back in the first on that Hackman home run, which feels like quite a while ago. 3-2 is hit well into right center, but gloving it is Ellie Johnson. 7 straight retired for Tuscarora, the first time Wolves cannot reach today. The defense has stayed true for James Woods ever since the first inning. 3-2, they continue to lead after 4 full innings of work. Four full innings have come and gone. We usher in the top of the 5th. One, 2, and 3 due up for the Colonels this inning. It'll be Cadence Reed to lead off. She's 0 of 2 on the day, both strikeouts. One looking, one swinging. She looks at that one go by, down and away, 1-0 count. Partner, you and I were talking about this during the break. It's not all gloom and doom for whoever comes out of this on the losing end. Both teams have qualified to travel to states, but of course, you'd much rather have boast a home field advantage as off speed goes through its swing and does Reed, counts 1-1.
Yeah, just the way the state is set up populace-wise, Aiden, these 4A schools all end up having to travel to either Southwest or Southeast Virginia regardless, as most of the other Northern Virginia schools are in the 5, 6A category. So both of these teams trying to avoid a long bus ride down either 95 or 81.
As Reig reaches on that one and reaches hard, counts 1 and 2. She'll step back to have a brief respite with head coach Steve Hicks of the Colonels. Still be interested to see if you'd like to see Wolves go the full way, but as time goes on, you know she's going to get a little fatigued. What the backup plan is, should Lindsey Mullen be incapable of coming in to finish this one out. A 1-2 is tapped up towards center. Oh, Wolves tried to grab it herself, but that disrupted the path of the ball. And Cadence Reig reaches. Looked like it would have been a routine sequence for Wolves, but it just bounced in and out of her glove, and no one was close enough to try and salvage the play. First time Reig has reached today, gives the Colonels a base runner as Sadie Cateau is on now, 1 of 2 on the day. She shows bunt. Pitches off the plate. Count is 1-0. There's a hot and humid one here. 1-0 pitch is leveled into deep into left field, but pulled foul all the way. Counts 1-1. Lily Wolves trying to keep this a 1-run difference. 1 runner on at first and no outs. Wolves kicks, fires, trying to lay down a bunt, but bounces back foul for strike 2. Counts 1-2. You can see how much movement that the Tuscarora defense is having to make, trying to just keep everyone out of scoring position and keep those base paths clear to let Lily Wolves focus on one thing and one thing only. A 1-2. Wolves got a little air on it. Play to first. Underhand throw. Nope. Beats out the throw. Beats out the play. Beats out the runner. Is third baseman Mary Hackman. Brings about the first out as Cadence Reig advances to second.
Now batting for the Colonels.
1 out down as up steps Izzy McKee. Has reached both times today, an E4 in the first and then an RBI single back in the third. Let's give the Colonels their first run of the day. Watches this one go by. Freeze keeps this one in front of her. Cadence Reig already getting antsy at second. Was about a third of the way to third. Another 1-0 count. Wolves looks to Freeze, then the dugout back to Freeze. And amidst that conversation, McKee will call time. One 0 count, 1 out, 1 runner at second. Wolves kicks, fires, finds the zone, strike 2. Strike 1, pardon me. Ones are wild now, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Reig, the runner on in scoring position at second. Colonels looking to add to this 3-2 lead. Wolves kicks, deals. Trying to put that one down the hatch, but too low. Counts 2-1. And partner, what more can you say that we haven't already in this one?
That's pretty much, it's been the same story, Aiden, through a lot of these games, these hot and cold scenarios, both on defense and offense for the Tuscarora
As that one
Huskies.
will get through the gap. The runner coming home. Here comes the throw. It will be cut off. And rounding second is Izzy McKee. Give her an RBI double, and Izzy McKee has ignited this Colonel team. It's 4-2 now, James Wood. A new score reads 4-2. Swing on that one, another one that just squeaked through the left field gap.
Yeah, and there's not much you can do there as a defender, Aiden. Just a good piece of hitting from Izzy McKee. see a meeting of the infield here from the Tuscarora Huskies. Just got to find some composure here, and more importantly, got to get those bats working on offense, Aiden. We've seen it. The Tuscarora Huskies rely time and time again on the pitching of Lindsey Mullen and the defense of their infield to keep those runs off the board versus scoring them late in these playoffs. But the Tuscarora Huskies got to start to put runs across the plate.
As that one nearly took the ankles of Orndorff well inside, 1-0 count. Orndorff 1 of 2 on the day. Struck out her first at bat, but then an RBI double tied the game back in the third. Wolves winds up, fires. That one swinging. That one won't get through any gap. Throw to first is there. That ball scooped by Grace Petruzzi, who made the delivery to first. 2 outs down. On the 6-3 punch out, Eliza Judd to the dish now. She's also 0 for 2 today. Flew out in the first, but then had an RBI double of her own in the third to make it a 3-2 ball game. Wolves kicks, delivers, trying to carve the plate there, but no going, and it's a 1-0 count. Righty versus lefty battle here between Wolves and Judd. Wolves winds up and fires. That one tapped right back towards her. Bounced right into the glove. Easy as you like to first for out number 3.
And this time, Lily Wolves hits another one, hit right at her, able to get the glove in front of this one, fortunately for her. And the Tuscarora Huskies here, as we head into the bottom of the 5th inning, need to get something going here. You got almost the top of the order. Hackman and Shivert due up for the Tuscarora Huskies.
1 hit, 1 run, 1 left stranded, 1 error in that inning for the Huskies. It's a 4-2 affair as we head to the middle of the 5th.
Leading up for your Lady Huskies.
Back to work are the Huskies on offense in the bottom of the 5th, and Mary Hackman, who got the day started with a big home run in the first, called on by her teammates once again. Approaching desperation territory for anything are the Huskies. She's reached both times today, the home run in the first and then a walk in the second. Jenna Shull to continue her impressive day as this one is rolled towards short and bobbled by the shortstop, and Hackman reaches. Got to start somewhere.
Exactly. The Tuscarora Huskies will take anything they can get, Aiden. Haven't scored a run since that first inning and haven't had a lot of base runners since then.
And Lily Shivert on now. She's 0 for 1 on the day, flew out once and then was hit by a pitch in the second. She has the ability to make magic happen as well. 1 runner on as Shivert decks that one back into the right, coasting into foul territory. Ellie Johnson, maybe if she had the speed of an NFL running back, maybe could have gotten to it, but it's an 0-1 count. First time the Huskies have had a base runner on since the second, when they had the bases locked and loaded. There's also 7 straight Huskies retired to that point. Off the plate is the pitch, counts 1-1.
We've seen Lillian Shivert, Aiden, start off 0 for 2, or 0 for 1, rather, in this one in the last few games, but has since turned it around later. through that third, fourth time through the batting order. Let's see if you could do it here.
As a riser, it's up and out of the zone, counts 2-1. Fighting in this at-bat is Lily Shivert, and you'd love to get Lindsey Mullen a chance at bat this inning.
Exactly, Aiden. You can get on base here. Makes it very difficult for Scholl to get out of this one.
As another one that comes to rest on the top of the zone, it's a hitter's count for Lily Shivert, 3-1. With no outs down, that's a big part of it as well. Hackman getting on early is the past few innings, the Huskies, they've had to... It's always harder to start out when you're already an out or two down. Scholl lets it fly on the 3-1, well below the zone. Shiver knew it before it even hit the dish. And the walk for Lily Shivert pushes Mary Hackman to second.
Huskies, Junior Audrey.
As on comes Audrey Stell. And 2 base runners on for the Huskies, as this will spur a meeting of the infield for the Colonels.
And you just got to think, Aiden, if Audrey Stell's able to get on base here for the Tuscarora Huskies, leaves the Colonels in a difficult situation. The last time Lindsey Mullen was up to the dish in this one with bases, not bases loaded, runners in scoring position, the James Wood Colonels elected to walk her and send her to first base. And just to rewind a little bit to the district championship, the Loudoun Valley Vikings walked Lindsey Mullen with bases loaded, so it wouldn't be out of the question to see some Barry Bonds treatment for number 18 in the blue pinstripes.
Audrey Stell is 1 for 2 on the day, a double in the first and a pop out in the second. Scholl kicks, fires. That one's going to be slapped towards second base. Throw to first is in time, but the runners move up. Hackman now at third, Lily Shivert at second. Does bring about the first out of the inning, but partner, I think you're a little content with that outcome given the circumstance.
Exactly.
And Lindsey Mullen, dejected, won't even get a chance. She is intentionally walked yet again. Who is immediately intentionally walked.
Yeah, no hesitation there, and as much as you hate it, you could see the disgust on Lindsey Mullen's face as she walked to first base after getting the news from the umpire behind the plate.
Bases are loaded for Hannah Schmidl, who is 0 for 2 today. Infielders playing up. The windup, the pitch. Call that, I think it was called ball 1.
Yeah, just off the top shelf there, and you've got to think for these next 2 batters of Schmidl and Petruzzi, not the stars of this Tuscarora batting order, but have the chance to come up big in a big moment. Using that plate discipline, Scholl's already walked a few in this one. You got to make her fight for these at-bats, Aiden.
As time is called by Orndorff and Scholl, as they look to their dugout to receive word of how to approach this situation. Last time the Huskies had the bases primed and loaded like this, they were left loaded. A lot of communication between the Tuscarora base runners as well. Scholl on the 1-0. That ball is going to be slapped up. It's foul all the way, and it gets down. So Schmidl will stay alive. Counts 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Tuscarora with the bases loaded, down 4-2. Hannah Schmidl, 17 hits and 9 RBIs to her name this season. Fouls that one off up into the right. Behind in the count now, 1-2. Would be a big second out for the Colonels if they can get it here.
Huge, Aiden.
Schmidl looking to protect the plate. Scholl kicks, fires. That one's going to be slapped towards short. Play to second is in time. Play to first is not. Huskies bring a run across, and it's 4-3.
And it's a game of margins, Aiden. Just a few feet decided that last play. But fortunately for the Tuscarora Huskies, it is in their favor, and now they still got Lillian Shivert on third base, Aiden. A stealing threat here. If you're Scholl and Orndorff, you got to lock in here and get this last out.
Hackman is scored. Shivert moves up to third. Mullins is tapped out on the fielder's choice, and Schmidl is at first. Check swing. doesn't come, but doesn't matter. The ball finds the zone for strike one. Runners on the corners for the Huskies with 2 outs down. The new score line reads 4-3, still in favor of the Colonels. Petruzzi 0 for 2 on the day, a chance to make something happen. Ball is off the plate, and Hannah Schmidl, with one of the easiest thefts in her life, moves into second. Both runners in scoring position now. 1-1 count for Grace Petruzzi. Shull wheels, deals. Petruzzi taps that one up into the right foul. Strike 2.
And these Tuscarora Huskies, Aiden, do a great job of getting on base, but once they're on base, they certainly make it difficult for whoever is behind the dish for the opposing team. You saw Hannah Schmidl practically walked her way to second base, and you just got to think Orndorff didn't even think twice about it. Just let her have it.
The 1-2 is called strike 3. Got the far edge of the zone. Got Petruzzi looking. 1 hit, 1 run comes across, but 2 runners left stranded. Could be a difference maker in this one. The Huskies pull within 1 in the bottom of the 5th. 4-3 as we move to the top of the 6th. Huskies pulled within a run a few moments ago. They're looking to keep it at that 1-run deficit as leading off this inning. We will see Skyla Compton, the designated player for the Colonels. She's 0 for 2 today. A ground out and a pop out have been her story at the plate. Wolves winds up and fires. Gets the far edge, strike 1.
That's a great pitch there from Lily Wolves. You got to think, Aiden, the Tuscarora Huskies can get out of this top of the 6th inning unscathed, bring up their 8 and 9 hitters. One of them gets on base. It's a good spot to be for the Tuscarora Huskies.
As she gets a hold of this one, tracking it back over the fence to deep left center. It is gone. Skyla Compton with a solo blast, and it's a 5-3 Colonel advantage.
And the Tuscarora Huskies, Aiden, need to bounce back here. Obviously, season is not in jeopardy, but still, as I said before, you don't want to give up a long bus ride. And the Tuscarora Huskies batting order going to have to respond.
All 5 runs have been earned by the Colonels today. As Jenna Shull to the dish now for James Wood. A new score reads 5-3 Colonels as a chopper that's fielded in play. Throw to first, no doubt about it. Olivia Bruns has made those throws time and time again and stops the wave of momentum for the moment without number 1.
Key word for the moment here, Aiden. You got that 8 and 9 hitters up for the James Wood Colonels. So both of these teams in the last 2 innings of play will see the top of their order come through for the 4th time today.
That one well inside to Ellie Johnson. Finds herself ahead in the count 1-0. Johnson 0 for 2 today. Flew out both times, once to center field, once to right. Flip the order of those. Wave and a miss. 1-1 count with 1 out down. And Lily Wool, she has to be thinking at this point, just take it one pitch at a time. Can't afford to count runs in your head or think ahead. Wolves kicks, fires, hard wave and a miss. Reached on that one, went early as well. Counts 1-2. Colonels come into this one, as I say, 1-2, wave and a miss. Third strike is dropped, but easy as you like, play to first for out number 2.
Now for the Colonels, Brennan Williams.
Strikeout number 5 for Lily Wools on her evening. And back up is the 9-spot hitter, Brennan Williams. Slaps that one, gloved at second, underthrow to first. It's there. So the Huskies respond off of that solo blast for Skyla Compton. The only real action on offense that inning. 1 hit, 1 run. No one is left stranded. Colonels do get one back, though. They lead it 5-3 as we head to the middle of the 6th. The tension grows all the more palpable in this one as we usher in the home side of the 6th. Olivia Bruns will lead off for the Huskies. Big sequence for Tuscarora. If you can get your 8 and 9 people on, got the top of the order due up in Lily Wools, Mary Hackman, and Lily Shivert.
You got your senior at the dish, Aiden. Sorry to cut you off. You need Olivia Bruns here to get on base.
She takes the first pitch, well below the zone, swallowed by the dirt, counts 1-0. And just as I was about to say, that's a task easier said than done for Olivia Bruns and Mackenzie Fries, who are both 0 for 2 in this one so far. Shull on a frozen rope well inside, just below the knees, counts 2-0.
And you can see the fatigue starting to set in for both pitchers. Both started off pretty red hot, Aiden, in finding the zone, now losing their spots inside and out.
Has 3 straight pitches and 3 balls. The hitters count for Olivia Bruns if she so wants it, but have to imagine if you're the Huskies, you're fine just letting her take an evening stroll. So you hear the chants from the Husky dugout, 3-0 count, make it a 4-0 and a walk.
And the pressure of this moment perhaps getting to Shull. She knows that this is the tough inning she has to get through. Obviously, you would still have the bottom of the 7th for the Tuscarora Huskies, but here at the bottom of the 6th inning, you are going to see now Mary Hackman, Lily Wools.
Let's see, this looks like this could be the end of Jenna Shull's day after surrendering her 4th walk, and it is. And a well-deserved round of applause from the Colonel faithful that made the trip after giving up a home run and only the second batter she faced today. She has come back and asserted her authority in fine fashion.
Exactly, Aiden. And you, for this Tuscarora lineup, you can't stop this Tuscarora lineup. You can merely contain it, and that's just what Shull's done this evening against the Tuscarora Huskies. So interesting to see who we're going to see up next in the pitching circle for the Janesville Colonels. It looks like it is going to be Ellie Johnson.
So we'll be interested to see who takes over in right field for Johnson. Shull ends her fine day at the office. Two of the runs earned. Gave up 4 hits, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts on her day. Now we'll see how Ellie Johnson fares, trying to gut out the last handful of innings here.
And these stats surely behind Aiden. But Ellie Johnson, through 6.2 innings of work that we do have the stats for, has an ERA of 1 flat in 4 appearances, 5 Ks, 6 batters walked, 1 error, 3 hits, and 4 runs.
As it's a touch hard to tell from here, but it looks like Skyla Compton, the designated player, has taken over for Ellie Johnson in right field. Don't quote me on that. Mackenzie Freeze to the plate now. Pitch is up and away. Throwback to first. Just barely not in time. A little too close for comfort if you're Olivia Bruns. Back in standing up as a throwdown came off of that first pitch. 1-0 count. Johnson, a right-handed pitcher. She kicks, she fires, drops that one in the bucket. Strike one.
It's a great pitch there and a statement coming from Ellie Johnson.
Counts 1-1 with 1 runner on, no outs for Freeze as she swings at that one, chops it off to the left to make it a 1-2 count. Tying run is at the dish as Tuscarora trails 5-3. Johnson. Oh, a drop third strike. Freeze trying to beat out the throw. Oh, they threw down to second. Oh, and here comes the throw to third, and that one is in time. A brain freeze from Olivia Bruns. The throw was passed to second, and she just got stuck between a rock and a hard place. It looked like you think for sure the throw's going to come to first on a dropped swinging third strike. Freeze reaches, and Olivia Bruns, I don't think she was expecting the throw to come to second. It was passed well over her head, and she just waited too long to run.
And I think that just comes down to the third base coach of understanding the situation in front of her. It's not like it was a close call at third base, Aiden. And if whoever's sitting on that third baseline for the Tuscarora Huskies need to motion to Bruns to stay on second, you miss your opportunity to round second. Now you just got to stay where you are and take what you can get with 2 runners on and 1 out.
Yeah, you're not going to like this, partner. 2 outs.
2 outs. Yeah, but I'm saying if Bruns stays on second, 1 out.
As Lily Wolves takes that pitch for strike 1, counts 1-1 with 2 outs. So they called Freeze out at first as well from the looks of it, or she got tagged on the way to second. I didn't get a look at it. I was mostly watching Olivia Bruns scamper. The 1-1 is hacked on, and it's a 1-2 for Lily Wolves. In just a wild sequence. It was a great recognition by the Colonels all the way around to recognize it defensively, but Tuscarora kind of just shooting yourself in the foot there.
Big time.
Ellie Johnson hunting for her first strikeout of the evening. She winds up and fires. Wolves levels that one into deep left, but it's gloved on the run by Brooklyn Davis. Haven't said her name a whole lot today, but all 3 Huskies of the inning are sent packing, as that will do it for the 6 full innings. We head to the top of the 7th. The Colonels looking for some insurance. They lead at 5-3. The Colonels searching for insurance in the top of the 7th. They lead it 5-3. And Lily Wolves on to potentially finish this game. Not the easiest position to do it in with the entire top of the order due up 1-2-3 for the Colonels, and Cadence Rieg to start off. Greets the first pitch swinging for strike one.
And Tuscarora Huskies had a good chance at that one, Aiden, but multiple members asleep at the wheel at the bottom of the 6th inning, and the James Wood Colonels took advantage.
And a reminder, both teams will play on in the statewide segment of the finals. That one, a roller to short, throw to first is there for the first out.
It's a good play there. It's shortstop by Grace Petruzzi, a hard hit ball right at her. Able to keep the glove to the dirt.
So Tuscarora will have a chance in the bottom of the 7th. It's just keeping this margin where it's at. Sadie Kitto to the dish now. Takes the first pitch for strike one. 0-1 count for her. She's 1 of 3 on the day. A single, a strikeout, and a ground out in that order. Wolves lets it fly. That one bounced off the plate on the swing, chopped back foul, strike two.
And you'd certainly like to keep Sadie Kitso off base here. In and behind her is Izzy McKee, who already has 2 RBIs on the day, Aiden.
So just mass confusion as Mackenzie Freeze, that last inning, was out. She wasn't eligible for the drop third strike, as this one is going to be poked into play, and it's down in front of Audrey Stell. Multiple Huskies had a chance at it, but it's a 1-out single for Sadie Cateau.
And that's a bad break there from the Tuscarora Huskies. Just so much spin off that one off the end of the bat. Just drops in behind Hackman to the left of Bass and just ahead of Stell. The one spot where the ball couldn't land to be fielded.
That's how a lot of the offense has happened today for the Colonels. They've just been putting in all the right spots of the field. Izzy McKee to the dish as she lines that one right towards Schmidl. Throw back to first, will not get there in time. Pardon me, not Schmidl, lined out right to Audrey Stell. And that's 2 outs down. A lone run for the Colonels last inning came off the bat of Skyla Compton with a solo home run. Sydney Orndorff to the dish. She's 1 of 3 on the day. Wolves winds up, fires, eaten by the dirt. Runner does not go, counts 1-0.
And Orndorff, Aiden, had that RBI at the top of the 3rd inning to tie the game up 2-2. Feels forever ago.
The 1-0 delivery. Waved on and missed. Counts 1-1.
And the stress starting to build here at Tuscarora High School, Aiden.
We've had plenty of heart attack games, though, haven't we? As this one's going to be slapped right towards left field. This time it's Hannah Schmidl. 1 hit, 1 runner left stranded, no runs come across. And that'll take us to the middle of the 7th. The Huskies, they'll have the opportunity to extend this game or walk it off. 5-3, the Colonels lead in the middle of the 7th.
Lady Huskies.
6.5 innings have come and gone. It's do or die for the Tuscarora Huskies, a regional crown on the line. They trail 5-3, but coming to the dish and due up is the meat of the Husky lineup, and Mary Hackman, who's reached all 3 plate appearances today.
And the last time in these Tuscarora Huskies have been in a similar situation was all the way back in last year's state championship. Since then, the Tuscarora Huskies have made short work of every playoff opponent they've come across.
Curveball doesn't find the zone for ball 1. It's a 1-0 count for Hackman. Johnson on to finish this one out. Drop ball on the top of the zone, counts 2-0. Tuscarora to either extend the game to 8 innings or walk it off. Got to get all your ducks in a row first, as they would say. 2-0 count. Hackman greets that pitch swinging, fouls it off to the left side for strike 1, a 2-1 count. Partner, what are you thinking? I see the gears in your head turning.
It's just such a tough position to be in for the top of the Tuscarora batting order, because you got to think these are your best hitters. You want them to be able to swing the bat to tie this game up or, of course, win this game. However, you need to get base runners on here early, and especially the moment of a fresh pitcher in here at the bottom of the 7th inning. Came in the bottom of the 6th, kind of lucked out due to Tuscarora's own fault. It's just a tough spot. Do you swing for the fences and try to tie this game up, Aiden, if you're Lillian Shivert, or do you try to just keep the base runners flowing and get a rally?
Another drop ball that doesn't drop enough. Hackman greets this one swinging, and it's down in right center, and Hackman will apply the brakes at first. That is her 3rd hit of the day, and it comes at a fine moment.
And a little sigh of relief there for the Tuscarora Huskies. They got the first runner on. And that momentous swing is seeing one of your best hitters all year, Mary Hackman, not being able to reach on base, would certainly wouldn't do the Tuscarora Huskies wonders on the momentum side of it. But now you got Lillian Shivert, who has the ability to put it over the fence with ease. One swing away now.
Shivert represents the tying run. A drop ball on top of the zone. Throw down to first. A pump fake check that by the catcher, Orendorf. The throw never comes. A 1-0 count for Lily Shivert. Again, Shivert represents the tying run. Johnson, the 1-0. A hair. No, just a hair in the zone. Counts 1-1.
It's a good call there from the ump. Lillian Shivert right up on that plate, daring him to throw it outside. And Johnson sneaks that one just inside.
1-1 count for Shivert. Johnson delivers. Shivert line drives it right to first. Throw back to first is in time, they say. That's 2 outs down. There's still one more out left. The Colonels don't realize it. Shivert lined that one right to the third baseman, Brennan Williams, and the throw back to first was in time to tag out Hackman.
And the Tuscarora Huskies thought we're going to get something going there. Now in a precarious position here with Audrey Stell. You think if Audrey Stell gets on base here, regardless of what she does, Lindsey Mullen's going to get walked, and now you're down to your 6-7 hitters trying to get something going.
As Stell lets that one go, drops onto the plate for a 1-0 count. And you wonder if Stell gets on, what happens to Lindsey Mullen? Is she intentionally walked, given how the defense has fared against the bottom half of the order?
110%, Aiden. I'd bet the house that if Audrey Stell gets on base, Lindsey Mullen gets walked.
There's that ball. Strike 1, a 1-1 count for Stell. The Colonels on the verge of knocking off the Huskies. As you said, both teams guarantee will play on in the playoffs, but in the bucket, strike 2. But a win like this can really slingshot you momentum-wise and keep the train a-chugging.
Now Colonels just 1 strike away, Aiden.
1-2 count for Stell with 2 outs down to keep the game alive. Johnson kicks, fires. That one is going to be lined towards left field, but just a few feet foul. And the Huskies looked like they had something humming to start the game. Just timely hitting from the Colonels and some uncharacteristic base running mistakes by the Huskies have really been the story in this one. Another one that's pulled foul into the left field fence by Stell, stays a 1-2 count. That ball well up and out. Counts 2-2. Stell staying alive.
And you also got to wonder, Aiden, as a Tuscarora Husky, how different is this ball game with Lindsey Mullen in the pitching circle for the Tuscarora Huskies?
We'll look at this. The Huskies had bases loaded in the second. As another one that's fouled off. We'll stay a 2-2 count. Bases loaded in the second. Granted, there were 2 outs down. They couldn't bring anything across. Bases loaded in the fifth with 1 out down. Still only brought across 1 run. So you can't say they haven't had their opportunities. It's just been some clutch defensive plays by the Colonels, and even times late where the Huskies have had opportunities to put runners in position, just uncharacteristic mistakes. As this one put into play, who calls ball? Oh, it was dropped! Dropped by the center fielder, Cadence Reed. We've got a pickle on here. Here comes the throw back to first. That one won't go. Here comes the throw to second, the dive. It's not in time! Audrey Stell got stuck between a rock and a hard place on the faux pas by Cadence Reed, and the Colonels knock off the Huskies and win the 4C region.
And Aiden, there's even an argument to be made there for Audrey Stell being safe at second base. The dugout and the Tuscarora Husky faithful did not love that call, but nonetheless, the upset comes for the Colonels.
As that will do it in this one. The region crown bestowed to the James Wood Colonels. The Huskies suffer only their 3rd loss of the season. It also snaps a 13-game win streak for the Huskies. Meanwhile, the Colonels, they advance to 21-2 on the year, win their 7th game in a row.
And exactly, in the tale of 2 stories now as the Tuscarora Huskies will go on in a low seed in the tournament. They will most likely, if my math is correct, play the number 1 seed of the Region 4A. So that is your Newport News, your Hampton Roads, your Virginia Beach, your Norfolk down there in southeastern Virginia, Aiden.
And you look around the statue, Mary Hackman gave it all she had today, reached all 4 times, 2 singles, a home run, and a walk. She reached every instance. Lindsey Mullen didn't really get much of a chance to show what she had to work with, as Lindsey Mullen was intentionally walked twice. The Huskies are the regional runner-up. They will play on as that announcement is made here. Lily Wools gave it her all in this one. But again, I'd attribute a lot of the success to Jenna Shull, who righted the ship after giving up those early runs and just really made life difficult for the Huskies on offense. And then, of course, Ellie Johnson coming in and finishing it off. But again, just timely hitting by the Colonels, timely hitting and defense. And the Huskies just went cold around the middle portion of that game. And just, again, some uncharacteristic base running errors from a team that is usually pretty stout in that department.
Exactly, Aiden, and you just got to go ahead, and I'll leave it at this, is you lose your ace right before the game. You bring in Lily Wools, who is certainly not a bad pitcher by any stretch of the imagination, but certainly not the caliber that you rely on as a team, and I think that just speaks to how this team operates, Aiden, is using Mullen as that crutch when they can't find those runs, and as we've seen here, only put 3 across, and like you said, Aiden, had the opportunities to do it, loaded the bases twice. In neither situation could they get runners across. And you just go to think, Aiden, that looking back on it, we've seen those bases been loaded. We've seen those runners in scoring position in other games that just Lindsey Mullen's been in the pitching circle for the Tuscarora Huskies to make up for those poor plays and those poor at-bats, and now you look at the Tuscarora Husky lineup, and you start to realize that it hasn't been that great through this playoffs, Aiden, so they're certainly going to need a rebound, not just from their stars who have been great, like Mary Hackman and Lily Woles at the top of that order, but top to bottom, you got to find ways to not just get on base, but fight through at-bats. We've seen a lot of 1-2 pitch ground out and fly outs from the Tuscarora Huskies in these last two contests, and you just got to think the Tuscarora Huskies, as you go farther into the season, those margins become tighter and tighter.
And again, not the end for the Huskies. They'll play on, but one of these teams going to advance feeling a heck of a lot better about themselves. And today it's the James Woods Colonels. They're the Region 4C champions. They get the upset in enemy territory. They win 5-3. From my partner Ronan Haycoop, I'm Aiden Butler. It's been a pleasure. We thank you for listening. James Woods victorious over Tuscarora 5-3.